Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Welcome to the show, the One Ass Cheek and 3 Toes. I am your host, Nate the Great, and I got my fellas here, B and J. How y'all fellas? How y'all fellas doing?
Doing good, man.
We're doing fine.
Doing great.
Man.
Jay needs a little light on this side, but we're doing fine.
Jay, you might put some light on. Yeah. Shine the light. Shine the light.
I'm serious, man. I ain't trying to be funny, man. I'm not.
He's trying to be
the jokes start already.
I'm just saying. You need some light, brother, man.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome to the show. As you see, we're a bunch of jokesters out here having a good time. Getting ready to talk some Lions football. We're second week into preseason. We're about 3 weeks away from the regular season. How y'all fellas feeling? You gotten the itch already? Ready to go?
Yeah, man. Ready for some football. Dude.
Yeah, ready for some real football.
Yeah, man.
I enjoyed the preseason because I look at the preseason like when I watch the NBA Summer League, even though it's not really like, any big names out there. I like watching the guys that nobody talks about battling for positions because I feel like you get really good football like watching those guys play, but it's ugly football.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, yeah. Starters. I want to see starters. I want to see starters in preseason. To tell you, true.
Well, to be fair, like there was a good amount of starting quarterbacks that played this week in preseason. Ours didn't, but no. But on that note, let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to start today with Jay and your news. Jay, what you got going on today in the world of the NFL?
All right, so as we know, we're going into week 2 of the NFL preseason, and a lot of teams are doing joint practices. One being the Detroit Lions are doing a joint practice this week with the Miami Dolphins. And the Lions linebacker, Grant Stewart, has something interesting to say about the Dolphins. He said he didn't know if they were ready to keep up with the level of practice that the Lions practice at. Essentially, he's calling them soft, right? So I want to know, what do you guys think of those comments he made?
Go ahead, B.
Miami is soft. There's nothing new. Their coach is soft. Their whole team is soft.
Yeah, they can't win. They can't win when the temperature's under 40 to 30 degrees. That's pretty sad. It's the NFL.
Like Eddie Murphy says, they're soft.
With SOF capital T, soft.
I mean, I'm okay with what Stewart said, but you didn't have to say it either. Like basically what he's saying, we already know that the Lions play a very physical brand of football. Mm-hmm. And probably one of the reasons why we have a lot of injuries. I keep telling people that when you play a physical brand of football, whether you're wearing pads or no pads, you're going to have injuries because it's just it's just the standard with the Lions. So we just got to get over that situation. However, I do like this idea of playing against the Dolphins, and I'll tell you why. I think it's going to be more beneficial for our defense because Mike McDaniels, you can call him a soft coach, but he's still a pretty good play caller. And he's very innovative in his play callings. And I want to see what kind of stuff he throws at Shep, that we haven't seen yet, or he hasn't seen yet so far, just to kind of see how our defense reacts to it. So I do like this matchup, and I do like the fact that our receivers will be going against, hopefully, at least most of our cornerbacks. I know TA probably is going to be out, but it's going to be fun to watch, but definitely the Lions do bring a physicality that Miami is definitely not going to be ready for. And hopefully, they show that in the game too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I like that attitude from Grant Stewart because we've seen him make a couple of plays already. One in the Hall of Fame game where he got chopped down and he still made that sack on Trey Lance. That was an impressive play. You've seen him make a couple of plays last week against Atlanta. I mean, hey, look, I like it. If you can back it up, if you can talk it, go out there and back it up. And we know the Lions can. So I like it.
It is impressive too. The fact is that this guy who barely just made our team is saying this. I mean, obviously, that the veterans on our squad are more tight-lipped. They're going to let their playing do the talking. So the fact that Grant Stewart is saying this and the guy hasn't even played for us yet says something about the culture.
Yeah, definitely. And
at least his culture.
No,
at least his culture. Because the Lions don't talk stuff to nobody. The last time we had a guy that did that, he screwed us all up.
It's one person that do love to talk, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially when he shows up to Green Bay with a Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt on. And, he has a thing against Green Bay, whether he's doing
he doesn't – I mean, he says stuff on – he doesn't say stuff before the game or during the season. He'll wear stuff like that, but, that's nothing. That's really nothing.
For the most part.
What's up, Robbie?
Right.
What's up, Robbie? What's up, my man?
For the most part, the Lions don't really talk a lot of mess. They really let their playing do the talking.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Dallas game; they didn't say nothing, and then they whooped their ass. Other games where they could have easily said, "Oh, we'll beat the crap out of them," and they still did it. They just didn't say it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Grant probably got a little talking to from Dan about that. Because we don't want to give anybody bulletin board material. So
right. And so on to the next one. I know everybody. I'm sorry. Were you about to say something, B?
No, I'm just. I mean, it doesn't. They do their talking on the field. So
absolutely,
I'm not even worried about that.
Absolutely, that's where Dan Campbell, the whole coaching staff, want the players like what they want them to do. Back it up on the field. Talk on the field.
Yep.
Get a tackle. Get through the line of scrimmage. Sack the quarterback. Get a touchdown. Make a block. Make a play. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
100%. So on to the next one. I know everybody's seen that horrific injury last week with Maurice Norris, and thank goodness he escaped with no major damage. He had to be carted off the field. He was actually taken by ambulance to the hospital, and he stayed the night over in Atlanta, and he returned to the practice facility yesterday. So prayers to him. Hope he gets well soon, and take all the time you need to get better. And, if you're able to come back and play for the team sometime down the line, let's do it. But thoughts and prayers to his family, and hope he gets well. What did you guys think about that injury? Did you see it in real time, or did you see the highlights?
I still haven't seen the game, so I just saw
I saw it in real time.
Yeah,
I saw it in real time.
Same.
It was sudden, that's for sure.
Yeah,
you didn't really know the full impact. I mean, you had to see the replay to really get the full effect of what happened to him. He went to go dive for a tackle, and he got kicked in the back, in his face, and his neck snapped back. Mm-hmm. And those are usual plays people make, but sometimes you just get hit right. It's kind of like hockey. I mean, you don't see too many people getting cut across the face by skates so many times because it doesn't happen. It's like a 1 in 2 million thing that happens. But then when it does happen, it's there. It's an obvious thing.
Mm-hmm.
So his is just a fluke, but it's a fluke that was very scary. But unfortunately, he is fine. That's the best part of the whole situation.
Yeah. It's unfortunate what happened. It looked like his neck kind of snapped back a little bit, and anytime you got injuries involved with your neck, it can be very catastrophic. The one thing I will say about this is, people like to give Dan a lot of shit about being emotional, but I've never seen a coach after a preseason game get choked up about an injury for a player that, let's be honest, is not in your top, 53. Maybe he's in your 53. Maybe he's not. He's on the bottom. But that just shows the genuality of Dan, because You know, he cares from the best player on the roster all the way to the bottom player on the roster.
Right.
And you can't say that about a lot of coaches. I've never seen a coach have that kind of emotion after a preseason game.
Yeah.
Regular season, yes. But preseason, no.
Yeah.
So shout out to Dan for that. That's what I love about Dan.
And you know what really
players.
Right, exactly, 100%. You know, something that Robbie just said that really made sense is he was convulsing. They didn't show that on the field, but you know, they were talking about it like right after it happened, and I seen it. I instantly sent to our group chat. I said, "Oh, I think something was wrong with his leg because by the way he was laying, I thought he was clenching at his knee, his lower leg, or something like that." But you know, when I seen it again, I seen him take a knee straight to the helmet and his neck snap back, and that's just something that nobody wants to see. If you're a human being with feelings and you see something like that, it instantly starts to get you. B, I know you play football, Nate. I'm not sure if you played any sports or not, but I've seen catastrophic injuries on the field, and it gets everybody. Yeah. Everybody gets affected by it. Sure. And they suspended the game with like 7 minutes left. Yeah. Said, what's up?
I said it's a violent sport.
Violent. It really is. And they suspended the game with like 7 minutes left, and everybody just kind of gathered around and prayed, knelt, just kind of show their respect for him and wishing him the best. So that was a classy move by the Falcons. And like I said, get better, Maurice Norris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's doing good. Yeah.
And on top of that, you know, the NFL wanted to continue them playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like, hell no.
It was big. Dan and Raheem, they both, you know, it was a joint thing. And Raheem said, "No, I don't think our players want us to play forward anyway," and which was very classy, like by Raheem Morris. I mean, you know, Dan's already going to make that decision, but the fact that Raheem Morris was like, "Nah, we can't do it either, bro, because this is shaking my players up too." So let's just call it. But the fact that the league office wanted to keep it,
yeah.
The fact that the league office is saying, "Oh, you can continue to play," yeah, that's Goodell for you.
It's not
safety first.
It's not only that, but the fact is that people had a lot of bets on those parlays and the overs and all that. They were pissed
money.
off.
I don't know who the hell would bet on a damn exhibition. I mean, a preseason game anyway.
People that got money to burn. People that got money to burn.
That's a stupid.
All right. Anything else, Jay?
So this is for Robbie. I know he's watching. So we got another veteran sitting out due to contract talks. You got Cam Hayward wanting a contract. He said in quote, "I'm looking to be valued," close quote. He wants another contract. He just turned 36 years old in May, and he wants another contract. Now I'm not sure what his pay, what he's looking for, if he's looking for market value or what he's looking for, but. Do you think
probably wants some guaranteed money? That's probably why.
Yeah. He is the 22nd highest paid defensive end or defensive tackle. I think it was defensive line.
Yeah.
And that's and he could easily be in a top 10. What I have the problem with is, dude, he was calling. So, well, I told them that, you know, if I have a really, really good season, I should get paid. But dude, that's verbal. Write the stuff down in your contract. You just got a contract extension last year. And this is what Pittsburgh has the problem with because, dude, they're trying to pay. They just paid TJ. They're trying to get their players paid. But you want to sit up here and pout because you had one good season after you just got paid the year before. Dude, come on.
Yeah, and they drafted the guy out of Oregon, Derek Harmon. So, you know, and more than likely, this is going to be Hayward's last contract, right? He's 36 years old and maybe looking for a 2-year contract when he's 38. I just don't see him getting any big extension. If you get guaranteed money, something that's team friendly, you know, I would say that's that, you know. Yeah. Exactly. I agree with you, Robbie. And he's the second best player on that defense. He definitely deserves it. He's a leader on the defense, second best player on that defense. I mean, just get a guy a 2-year contract.
But here's the problem that you run into in the NFL. That guy for Denver got paid. I don't know if you saw that. He got a huge extension. And a guy like Cameron Hayward, which let's be honest, if it's that guy and Cameron Hayward, I'm taking Cameron Hayward all day. Cameron Hayward looks at it like says, "Hey, I'm a lot better than this guy, even at my age." And that's the conundrum that you have because when other players are getting paid and you know your values more than that player, even despite of your age, that's where people get rumblings about it. But I do agree, you have to play out your contract. I really
that one guy is younger too. The guy that they extended the contract.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This was after his rookie contract, so he got extended from his rookie contract. So that was his second contract in his pro career. Where Hayward's probably went on his fourth, fifth, somewhere around there. Yeah. And on top of it, dude, just if you want to make provisions in your contract, talk to your agent and put them in your contract so that when you come out there, you're not looking like Bobo the Clown, because you should have put that verbal stuff doesn't work anymore. Ask Jerry Jones in Dallas. That don't work no more. You got to have it written down. And that was the problem right there.
But it also takes two to tango. The fact is, maybe the Steelers didn't want to give him that extra provisions or all that in the contracts, because of his age, even though he is a high productive player for the Steelers, they know that
I'm not even doing that with Cam Hayward. He was the one that came out and said, I had a verbal agreement. That's what he said. He didn't say that he had it in his contract. Verbal agreements don't mean crap in the NFL no more. You've got to put it in your contract. You should have talked to his agent and said, put that in my contract, so if I do good this season, I can come back at him next season and get a contract, because he does deserve the money. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, you kind of screwed yourself by getting that 2-year extension and not putting that letter in there. That's what you're
saying is this contract did have incentives for that situation.
No, it did not. Oh. He didn't have it in there. It was a verbal. It wasn't written in the contract.
I got you. Yeah, and you're right. That's a failure amongst himself and his agent, because they should have. Every player, especially when you get older, should have incentives in their contract, because that's what motivates them to make more money, because they know that they're not going to be making top of the market dollar. They're going to have to make it incentives.
You know something? I think this is a fumble by the organization as well. I know the Steelers really rarely take L's when it comes to handling their players' contracts and everything, but think about this. Cam Hayward is still playing at a high level. He just wants to be taken care of because he knows this is his last contract. Now, Cam Hayward, do you guys consider him a Hall of Famer in the future time? Possible Hall of Famer?
Yeah,
what do you think, B?
He's won Super Bowl rings. He's like one of the top players at his positions for a long time.
And if that's the case, you want to pay that guy, especially if he's still playing at a high level. You just drafted another defensive tackle that you want him to help develop. I mean, you're going to ask him to take on a big role this season. Having to mentor another young guy and still have to play at that level, it's going to be hard for him. It's 36,
or just do
next year.
Or just do what you did to Alex, man. Just cut some money and give him to him in a signing bonus. Like that's all they want. They just want a little bit more cheese.
It can happen in a multitude of different ways, but I want to know, what are the Steelers thinking right now? And Robbie, I've seen something him talking about he will let him sit. You don't want a guy like that to sit. He's productive. He's your second best player on defense. I wouldn't want that guy to sit. I want him to be out there for 30 snaps.
The Steelers are starting to become the Cowboys. Like, they really are really having problems with their players as far as signing contracts, delaying things. That's something the Cowboys do. And the Steelers are always been a very smart franchise for the Rooneys and all that, and Tomlin and all that. It's really sad to see some of this news out of Pittsburgh, because they're such a good franchise, and they've been well run for a while, but it seems like it's become a shit show a lot more in Pittsburgh right now.
I agree with Robbie. Just saying on the Steelers is the players have agents. This is the thing. Everybody wants to get on, get on a player's bandwagon. Oh, woe is the player. But dude, he's got an agent. Just like Hendrickson. I have no feelings for you if you have an agent and he didn't do right by you, or she didn't do right by you. That's on you. Fire the agent, get another agent. So you can't put everything on the organization. They just gave him a 2-year extension. Come on.
It's probably just to kind of wrap this thing up. I'm sorry, but it's true. I mean, find me another organization that's been that dysfunctional with contracts. The reality is it not as bad. I mean, Deshaun Watson was pretty bad, but I mean, dude,
how many quarterbacks do they got right now?
5. Yeah, but that's drafting. That's not signing guys. Deshaun Watson, I'll give you for sure. No reason in hell they should have gave him a fully guaranteed contract. But that comes back to my point: is a lot of these issues with contracts come with guaranteed money, and the fact is that these players want to get their guaranteed money up front, which is fine. Hey, take care of yourself. But they got to understand that once that guaranteed money rolls out and they pay you, that's it, dude. You just play your contract. Mm-hmm. And so if you want to split your guaranteed money into years, I would look at doing that, because at least you have your salary and some guaranteed money on top of that. Don't take the whole bank right on top of that in the get-go and then bitch about not having guaranteed money, because that's what Alex's situation was. Alex didn't have any more guaranteed money. So what the Lions did is they transferred some money over into a signing bonus and gave him some more guaranteed money. That's what it's all about in these contracts, is guaranteed money. They want that money at hand, but they don't understand how the contracts work. Hence why
they just want to know that they're protected in the event that they get injured or
protection. They're greedy as fuck. That's what it
is. No, and he's right. They are greedy.
Every athlete in every sport gets overpaid. Trust me.
Of course,
it's ridiculous.
But a player like Cam Hayward, really quick, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but with a guy like Cam Hayward, he's old now. He isn't like 31, 32 years old. He's older. He know that his time is limited. He may have a year or two left in him, and he just want to say, hey, you know what? Just give me one more contract. I done everything you guys asked me to do. I have been one of your best players over the past decade. Just give me just give me a little something. Let's call it even. Give me a little something. And his agents
they did everything they let you do. Hey, you got a 2-year extension last year. Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, I'm sorry. That's on him. It's on him. If he wanted something more in his contract, he should have talked to the team, then talked to his agent to put that in his contract. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You can't just keep doing it. Do you know if they do this for him? How often these players will go out there after they just got a contract? They want a new contract.
That's what we see all the time. How many times are players wanting new contracts when they have a contract already?
Well, that's after they've been playing 2 or 3 years on their contract. I'm talking about a year after year contract. Oh, hell no. Nope. No, play your contract.
And my only pushback on this, and I've heard this from a lot of NFL players when they ask them about contracts, no one wants to play on a 1-year deal. They want that extra incentive because they know that if they play on a 1-year deal, they tear their ACL, their career is over, or they're probably done with that team. So that's what I hear is why they do this stuff, is because they don't want to play on a 1-year deal. They want that extended contract to give them a little safety net in case something does happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's what insurance is for. And a lot of players have insurance. So I don't want to hear that either. That's just another excuse players use. I'm telling you, they get mad money. Pay your damn contract out. Damn, the Steelers just paid your ass last year for 2 years.
Or spread the guaranteed money out through the years. It's not that hard. Like, if you're getting $20 million guaranteed, don't take all the $20 million up front.
But see, Nate, that's not going to be enough for them either, because you can do that and then they'll be crying about something damn else. And when does it stop? And I'm not a person that will take the side of teams, but the players got to be held responsible for a lot of stuff too that goes on with these contracts, because they're the ones that are crying about shit all the damn time. And then you have a market value because one quarterback gets paid this who probably shouldn't even be getting paid that. I'm not going to say anybody, Joey Sunshine in Jacksonville, but then you got quarterbacks that get paid like that, and then the quarterbacks that deserve to get paid like that, they're behind in the 8 ball because
Let me ask you.
Joey Sunshine's getting paid more.
Let me ask you a question. This might be a bigger debate later down the line, but I'm just kind of curious your thoughts. Should there be more of a set limit to what a player can make? And if that player exceeds that or hits that limit, that's it? Rather than all this is one-upping crap that we see all the time, because that's the problem. Everybody wants to one-up each other.
Well, the thing about it is the contracts fail in this regard, and this is the reason why we have this problem. Contracts are supposed to be built on the position of the player. So, for instance, quarterbacks will probably get paid the most because they are the leader of the team, right? So you set them at a specific money mark for quarterbacks. What you pay them extra is incentives. So, for instance, if you give them a contract for so many years, right, 4-year contract. Say you give Goff a 4-year contract. He goes out there and plays 2 of his seasons at Pro Bowl caliber seasons. Those should be incentive-laden seasons. So anytime you make you break your own records or you play better than you have in your whole career, you should get incentives for that. So if he does it 1 year and he gets incentives for it, then the next year he goes and does that one better than the year before, he gets incentives. Those are things that you need to put in the contract, not just I'm going to give you guaranteed money, and then in 3 years out of a 4-year contract, you're going to come back hollering you need another contract. No, hell no.
But a lot of the issue with the contracts is the guaranteed money. A lot of times these contracts aren't settled. Like let's take the Trey Hendricks deal. Trey Hendricks is not signed with the Bengals because he's not getting another year guaranteed on his contract. He wants more guaranteed money on the second year. Micah Parsons wants more guaranteed money. So
Michael Parsons don't care about the money because he's still playing on his rookie contract.
Right. He don't really care about the money as much as getting signed and having that extension, getting that deal done. It's not really about the money for Micah, and I believe that because dude does all kinds of other shit.
Yeah, but you're talking like huge money that he's about to get. Like you're talking $41 million.
Well, he is about that. Yeah, he is now because TJ Watt just signed his contract. So I mean,
right? Yeah, but he knows he's worth $40 million. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Jerry Jones is a dumbass anyway because he should have signed.
I think we established that already a while ago. Jerry Jones himself on this deal.
Yeah, he could have saved him about $10 million.
He likes overpay his players.
Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, all of these guys are getting these big record-breaking contracts, and the guy, your best player on your team, possibly is going to go out here
that's
that same amount or more.
But see, that's my point. That's why I say that they really should look at capping a certain position. Like you can only make so much. Mm-hmm. I mean, Dak is making $60 million. You're telling me the next up and coming quarterbacks are going to make over $60 to $70 million a year.
I think that Dak Prescott's going to get his contract reconstructed.
It doesn't matter when the standard's been set. But when the standard,
once you start reconstructing contracts, that's going to kind of level everything out. Like Jared Goff, he's going to have to get his contract reconstructed as well because he's on the hook for $72 million. So they're going to have to reconstruct contracts. That's just how it goes. Not the next
market value versus what the players are actually playing in their position. That's the problem. That's why you got a lot of these football players that are non-quarterbacks, non-skill team players getting a lot of money all of a sudden. It's weird because you never heard that 20 years ago. Okay, all this stuff is just starting to happen in the last 5 years. So. And then on top of that, you got college players making the money. So now you got a whole different kind of player coming into the NFL that, entitled, oh, well, I was making this much money in college. I should be getting paid, blah, blah, blah. So it's becoming, I'm going to tell you right now, football is not going to last too much longer. I mean, you got to go in there and print money. If you got money to pay players like this, you got money to do a whole hell of a lot of things for this country that we can't do right now.
Well,
this is what I'm talking about.
I think the answer. I think the
stupid
answer,
money.
I think the answer you're seeing is that you're going to see more quarterbacks drafted, because the fact is that teams are going to want to have a rookie friendly contract deal, because if they have a quarterback on a rookie-friendly contract deal, they got 4 years to decide if that person's going to be their franchise before they have to pay him that big money. Rather than somebody like Goff, who, if Goff struggles this year or we don't get to the Super Bowl, we're going to have to move off of him in a couple of years. There's just no way impossible in hell we're going to go
I think Goff is going to be our quarterback for at least the next 2 to 3 seasons, because with him reconstructing his contract, which is I'm betting the house on it, that's going to tie him to our franchise for at least another.
Well, he's going to have to. He's going to have to. There's no doubt about that. But all right, well, we'll have to come back to the subject again. That was good little debate. Thanks, Jay, for that.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to go ahead and hop into the second preseason game. Lions won 17-10 against the Falcons. So I'm going to ask y'all, instead of giving me your analysis or your views, I want to give me your studs and duds of the game, and we'll start with the studs first. Give me your studs for the game. I'll start with you, B.
How many studs do we get?
Just you know, names a couple people. I mean, there's a pretty big roster, so I'm pretty sure y'all can pick some people.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kyle Allen played really well, and that surprised me. That really surprised that he played that well. I know it's a preseason game, but he did go against their first unit defense. Oh no, that was Hooker that did that. But Hooker didn't do shit in that game. But Kyle Allen settled down from what he was last time, and hopefully that they'll probably have him start in the next one. But we'll see if he goes against if the Dolphins play their starting defense. But I liked him. I think he improved. The offensive, I'm not going to pick out anybody really. I think the offensive line did well in the beginning because they had no starters on there except for Ratledge. And their number one draft pick, Pierce, was on there, and they did a very good job against Pierce. You didn't hear it. Pierce didn't have a stat line. He was playing. He didn't have a stat line because you know what? They slid the defense slid down toward him so he wouldn't come through. See, that's the advantage of your team that wanted that guy, knowing what he's capable of. And what they did is they just slid the line down to where he was coming from and stopped him. That's why he had no stat line. So they did a very good job against the Atlanta defense. The defensive line was consistent. I think they got like 2 sacks in the beginning there, and they only allowed in the first quarter 1 first down to Atlanta. So that was great. I think everybody played a lot better than they did in the first game, especially the offensive and defensive line.
Okay, Jay, what do you got?
Well, mine was Rocky Asin, and reason being he's a stud is because Rocky Asin, I said a couple weeks ago, I was like, I don't know if he'd make the team, and I was kind of iffy about it, but he's shown why he's belonged. I mean, he had 3 tackles. He even had a pass breakup, I want to say, in that game.
Yeah, playing safety.
You like to see that, considering like how shaky the Lions secondary has been. He is playing like he belongs on the first team defense. Now, obviously, with Arnold, with Reed, and Amik Robertson, those are like kind of our 3 starters that we're going to have on the field. But Rocky Asin could definitely find his way in our rotation and make an impact because he's playing with that same type of fire that Amik Robertson played with. Does that make sense to everybody? Like Amik Robertson, everybody kind of doubted him, said he was undersized, and he had to show him why he was a pit bull. And Rocky Asin is playing with that same mentality. He don't care if it's a first down, third down. He's going to play with that same intensity. First team, second, third team, he doesn't care. He's playing with that intensity, and I like that. That's what you like to see from guys trying to prove themselves.
And to add to that point, with Rocky Asin, like there's a possibility he could see starter situations because they do like to run 3 safeties at times in the defense. And I mean, of course, Maddox is there too, so you can see Maddox and Rocky Asin, depending on who they feel more comfortable with, back there along with Kirby and BB. So yeah, I mean, I think that he's a starter that he would be a starter on another team. Like,
he could be definitely.
Well,
he could
just kind of remember this fact too. Enos Rakestraw's out for the year. We don't know the status on what Maurice Norris is going to be. He could be out for a considerable amount of time too. We don't.
Yeah, Dan said a couple of weeks.
So Rocky Asin can get in there. He's already the 3rd behind DJ Reed, but Enos is out, so you could probably move Rocky Asin up to number 2. Really, the people that are competing on that is Nick Whiteside. Nick Whiteside did a very excellent job in that game too, by the way. They also got DJ Miller and Tyson, probably guys that ain't even be on that damn roster. And DiCaprio Boodle, not liking his play. So he's okay, but he's kind of like the last year's version of Vildor. That's how I look at him.
Yeah, I kind of saw that too.
Anybody else catch your eye, Jay?
Yeah, definitely. Not Trevor Nowatzki, Isaac Tesla. He had a touchdown, and I mean, the guy just plays so smooth. He really plays like he's a vet, and the way he runs his routes, He doesn't necessarily has to be the fastest, but the way his footwork is, the way he moves up and down the field, block, and also catches passes, he definitely caught my eye a lot too. And I know that's kind of cliche because we've kind of been following him a lot and having our eye on him, but you can really see how he stands out. You know, he don't have to get 10 to 15 balls a game. He can really get 3 catches and get you on the other side of the field. He can flip the field really fast. So
yeah, 2 things I've seen from Tesla. One of them, the way he catches the ball, he catches it with his hands. Yeah, he's a hands catcher type of dude. Mm-hmm. Also, 2, I was worried, like I said, like earlier in one of our shows, I said, like, if he struggles with separation, that's going to be a problem. So far, right now, he looks pretty good on separation. You know, obviously, when we get to the regular season, he goes against more legit cornerbacks. We'll see how good a separation is there. But so far, it looks pretty good. So that's a good sign.
Absolutely.
B, you mentioned 2 guys I want to talk about. One of them you mentioned, B, and the other one I'll talk about. You talked about Nick Whiteside. Dan did talk about Nick Whiteside in his presser. Just a little heads up on Nick Whiteside for people that don't know. Nick Whiteside came from the UFL, played on the Battlehawks. Mm-hmm. And, I forgot what college he went to. But anyways, I think it was I forgot. Anyways, so just talk to me about Nick Whiteside. I have not seen the game because stupid NFL Network can't record it for me. So tell me what you saw on Nick Whiteside.
You wouldn't remember the name of that college anyway. I don't even Saginaw Wavell. I don't know what the hell that college is.
Saginaw. Oh yeah, he's from Michigan. That's another thing. He's from Ann Arbor, right? Or he's from
Saginaw Valley. Saginaw Valley. I hate when they put this in here like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Saginaw Valley. But he's from Michigan, so he's a Michigan guy.
Yeah.
Damn, Nick Whiteside.
I'm like, what the hell college is this? Yeah, Saginaw Valley.
So talk to me about Nick Whiteside. Tell me what you've seen so far in this game.
So in this game, he had hold on a minute. Specific. He just played pretty well. I mean, he didn't really. He wasn't bad at all. He just was there when the plays were being made. Like he had like two tackles, 1 solo. I think he had a pass defense too. Yeah, he had a pass defense. So and it was a pretty good play too, as I remember the pass defense. It was a long play. Their quarterback threw it was like 3rd and something, and he threw a long pass, and Whiteside was on it, but can't remember the specific play. But anyway, he did pretty well in that game. He's been I heard he's been turning heads too in camp defensively. So, I mean, all this is speculation. All this is because they're in preseason and camp. So, I mean, do I say him making the team? It might be a little bit better now because of the fact that Maurice Norris and Rakestraw are out right now.
Dorsey's out too.
Dorsey is still at the POP, but he'll come back during before the regular season. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He has probably the better outside shot than the other corners. The other 3 corners he's battling. So, but I don't know.
If he doesn't make the 53, he'll definitely make the practice squad for sure.
Yeah, he'll make them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Another guy I want to talk about is Nate Lynn out of William and Mary. This guy, nobody really talks about him. Looking at his numbers, I think he had 1 sack and he's had like 15 to 16 pressures and like 29 snaps. That's pretty impressive for those snaps. What are y'all's thoughts on Nate Lynn? Do y'all think that he makes the 53-man roster because of the depth of the DNs? Or do you think he makes the practice squad? Talk to me about it.
Nah, probably not. Because, still got to make room for Josh Pascal. The Husseinian kid out of Boise State. Still got Aquadine Muhammad. You still got Aiden Hutchinson. You still got what's the other guy's name?
Elaine McNeil, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport. Mitchell Agude has not been playing well in camp. He has not been playing well in preseason games.
Nope.
I think Nate Lynn, he's actually passed him on the depth chart, I believe.
Yeah. Well, he's not passing on a depth chart according to this depth chart I'm looking at right now from the Detroit Lions post, but he is. I could tell you right now, he's playing way better than him. So
he's playing more meaningful snaps of the second teams than the starters. Yeah,
right. And also think about this: you still got Derek Barnes, who can line up at pass rusher as well. Look for him to be utilized in that position as well this season. So I'm not really sure if he make the active 53-man roster, but we'll see. I'm not really counting on it, though.
Yeah, I think Josh, obviously, I don't think Josh is going to be back before the season starts. I think they're going to be patient with Josh. But yeah, I mean, you've got Davenport, you've got Mohammed, you've got Hassasin, you've got Aiden. You've got at least 4 deep right there at ends. But I don't know. I mean, if they like this Lynn guy and they feel that if they put him on the practice squad, he gets picked up by somebody, they might just put him on the 53-man roster just to protect him. So we'll see. I definitely think with this roster, we mentioned we have a lot of players that haven't come back this season yet, that are going to come back at some point in the next couple of next 3 months. And so it's going to make it really interesting to see what players get dropped and picked up and all that stuff. Because, I mean, obviously the guys that are hurt right now are going to play meaningful minutes when they come back. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Give me your duds. I'm sure that's going to be
Hooker. Hendon Hooker. Man, something with Hendon Hooker. He was disappointing. I mean, I granted, I know the kid was out there running for his life. But, I mean, at some point, you got to show some development. He went out there, he had, 2 or 3 fumbles, and they were all turnovers. He didn't look well at all. He looked like he was playing JV football out there, and it didn't look good for him at all. And with Kyle Allen stepping up, leading the team down the field and scoring, I think that kind of says a lot right there. And Hendon Hooker,
Kyle Allen the backup now?
I would say as of right now, yes. I've seen an article that said Dan Campbell really liked Kyle Allen and he was high on him, like giving him praise for what he did. So Hendon Hooker, I mean, he's getting opportunities. We talked about him having opportunities to show himself and prove himself. He proved to be not good, not NFL ready. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got to.
Well, it's just and you got to hold on to the football, dude. Like I'm sorry, like Dan was right. You got to hold on to the football. You got to, especially if you're running, hold on to the damn football. Like protect that football at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think even Dan Campbell says something about him running. Like if you're going to run, you got to run the ball. You got to
hold on to it.
You got to
running back rules. Running back rules, man. If you're running quarterback,
you got to hold on to that,
rules. High and tight. Hold it tight.
And he hadn't done. He does not have ball security as well. At all. I should say he don't have ball security at all. So, nah, man. I'm sorry. I just don't see Hendon Hooker being that backup quarterback.
I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback with such high praise coming out of college, even after the ACL injury, regress so quickly in such a short period of time. Like, he is a shell of himself now. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if the Kyle Allen thing really spooked him or got him scared. I don't know. But he is playing with no confidence. It's really –
you know what it is. He used to playing for a team where he can literally just drop back and throw it to X, Y, Z, whatever receiver he got doing
spread offense,
little fly routes. Exactly. Yes. The Lions aren't set up that way. He has to actually get under center. He has to hike the ball from under the center. He got to actually go to his second and third read if his first read isn't open, and he isn't good at doing that. Mm-hmm. And Hendon Hooker has never played that type of football. He's always played an air raid type offense, and it's like he has to learn how to play football again as a quarterback because he don't keep his eyes down the field. Right. Any sign of pressure, you can tell the good, the great, and elite quarterbacks, from the ones who aren't good at all. Because anytime you see Goff under pressure, he makes throws, inaccurate throws at that. But when you see
he learns how to step up in the throw. That's one of the things Goff does.
But Hendon Hooker, if he sees somebody coming off of the edge or something, he literally just takes off. You can't do that. You have to be able to get the ball to your playmakers, especially if you can't hold on to the football if you're trying to tuck it and run it.
Yeah.
Well, let's be real about this whole situation with Hendon Hooker. He's not with the Lions. He's not a quarterback for the Lions. Mm-mm. He looked good. I think they picked him on a whim because he was available and he slid all the way down to third. He could have been a first-round pick. I think they picked him on a win, but he's not. This is the argument I make about people saying, well, Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Goff. You put him on the Lions, they can win a Super Bowl. No, because that's not the kind of offense the Lions run. They do not run offense for a mobile quarterback. They do not.
Yeah, we don't have read options. And
No, there's no. They do not.
I do believe that Lamar Jackson, and I will say Lamar Jackson.
He ain't going to sit back there in the pocket and wait because he does not do that. He does not wait in the pocket.
He does not necessarily have to do that to be a great quarterback.
It's the same argument with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts couldn't run the offense for the Lions.
Yeah,
because that's not his game.
I think you guys are really underestimating how these guys are playmakers. Like, they don't have to just sit back. See, the thing is, what separates Hendon Hooker, Goff from like Lamar Jackson and all of them is that they can use their legs. They can also throw as well. Now, when you look at Lamar Jackson had 4,500 passing yards last season? And you can probably name me one elite receiver they have on their team that's as good as St. Brown. That's because he know how to go to his second and third options as well. Now, while he may not be just as accurate as Jared Goff, he's
getting better, Jay. But I think he's not. He
still has the arm strength.
I'm not sold on the passing game from Lamar Jackson. He's got two tight ends that are great. He's got what's the kid's name? The other receiver. The main, that guy. They got him. Not Bateman, no, hell no, not Bateman.
Flowers. You talking Flowers?
Flowers, Flowers, yeah.
And I look at it like this.
You can't. First of all, his offensive line is built. This whole team is built around Goff. It's not built around a quarterback that can run. So no way in hell is Lamar going to come in here and do the same damage that Goff has done because he is not a patient quarterback. He is a first read quarterback. That's what Lamar Jackson is. Do you know he leads the league in rushing for a reason as a quarterback, right? Because he does not understand his second or third reads all the time.
He also ranked in the top 3-4 with passing yards as well.
Because easy to dump passes off.
It's the reason behind that. And
he wasn't a top 10. He wasn't top 10 in yards this year either.
I think he was. I have to go back and check that. He was.
Well, he might have been top 10. He wasn't nowhere near Goff. I can tell you that right now.
And he was an MVP candidate, and the only reason why he didn't win
was Goff.
We've seen
so was Burrow.
Running back. Yeah, but if let's just say Saquon Barkley goes out there and rush for 1,500 yards instead of 2,500 yards like he had, do you think that Lamar Jackson don't win? You don't think he wins the MVP again? Because I do.
He should have won it. Well, I don't think he should have won it this year either. But I don't really think Josh Allen should have. I think Josh should have won it last year, and maybe Lamar should have won it this year. Actually, Joe Burrow should have won it because he had all the accolades. He had the yards. He had the thing. Just because you're on a sucky team don't mean you're not a good player.
He missed the rest of the season with that injury, though. That was kind of bad for him. You can't have an MVP that missed 5-6 games.
He only missed about 2 or 3, and he still had the most yards in the NFL.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, he's an MVP.
Let me say this real quick because with all these offenses make their offenses to the quarterback, like B said.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie,
the Ravens.
Robbie, no, you can't say that. You're biased, and I know you're biased.
I mean, he's a pedestrian thrower. He's not the greatest thrower in the world. He's not an elite passer. But
he's
what I'm saying is that Goff.
Let me look up some stats for this guy because
but
Lamar Jackson is definitely an elite thrower.
Okay, I mean, it depends on what you define elite in the sense of can he be a guy that's going to sling it up and down the field? No, he's not. That's not his game.
So you want me to give you his stat line really quick?
I know what his stat line is. He had
4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and damn near perfect rating. He had 119.6 passer rating. That's good. That's damn good. That's better than Goff, actually.
No, not yardage wise, not
yardage
wise. Oh hell no, dude!
I don't want to. Our quarterback, but come on, man, Lamar Jackson. Come on, man, this dude playing.
Why y'all
41 passing touchdowns. 41.
But how many running touchdowns, Jay?
I have to go back. He had 41 passing touchdowns.
Goff had 37.
So what are we talking about here? And factor in the fact that Lamar Jackson can also run and get touchdowns as well.
Sure.
Well, that's not Goff's fault.
But we're not. But we're
I'm
not.
not saying that it's Goff's fault, and I think
we're
you guys.
not. But we're not debating. We're not debating if
ahead.
Lamar Jackson's better than Goff.
Huh?
We know Lamar Jackson's better than Goff. Lamar Jackson's a talent that you don't see in a lot of quarterbacks. A guy that can run 4.3 speed, that can throw the ball 70 yards downfield, is just a nightmare for defenses. Goff is a hell of a thrower. He's very pristine at what he can do. He's one of the last pocket quarterbacks we have in this NFL. The thing is that what I'm saying is that Goff could not run the Baltimore offense, just like I don't know if Lamar could run this when Ben Johnson was coaching. That's a problem with Ben Johnson's having with Caleb right now. Caleb is not Goff. They're completely opposites of each other. And that's why Ben is having struggles with Caleb, because Caleb is more ad-lib and likes to do things on his own, to where Ben is more like on schedule structure. That's not Caleb. So that's why I think that marriage is not going to work out, But with Goff, it was different because Goff is on schedule, accurate, all that stuff, and for Ben Johnson, that's what he wants. So.
Yeah. No. I get that. No. I totally get that. But, also really quick, Lamar Jackson, he had 4 rushing touchdowns last season with 41 passing touchdowns.
That's a low, too. So I thought that.
So, I mean, just saying with like
Jared Goff had a 72.4% completion rate. Lamar had a 66.7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah.
And that was good. That was one amongst
Lamar had a 119.6 quarterback rate. And guess who was second? Goff.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, yards per attempt. Let me just get this out. Yards per attempt.
Go ahead.
Lamar has an 8.8. Jared Goff has an 8.6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're right there. So I can't say like, hey, Lamar Jackson wouldn't do well in this system. Like I don't believe that whatsoever, because
which
Lamar
is
Jackson
impressive.
can do anything, and when you have a good game planner, let's say Charlie Morton pans out to be who we expect him to be as a play caller, right? I believe any talented offensive coordinator will be able to put any quarterback in the system, especially with the stars that we have on our team, having the best line that we did. I don't think it'd be hard to put Lamar Jackson in there.
Well, he will tailor the system to the quarterback. He even said that with Goff too, because just like Ben Johnson did, Johnny's going to do the same thing with Goff, and he's already kind of done that, because that was Ben and Johnny's offense when Goff came along. Let's move on. Bring back up that question, B.
Yeah.
Shout out Liz for the question. Yeah, so we're working on a sponsorship with them, so thank you very much for having given us a chance with y'all. She had a question. Do you think the recent injuries and roster changes could hurt the Lions season? Yeah, it could. I mean, injuries are a problem for us, because we play a very physical brand of football. That's why it's important that in these next 2 preseason games, we really got to develop more depth. We have to, because if not, then you're basically relying on all your starters not to get hurt, and that's just doesn't happen with the Lions, unfortunately.
Well, the injuries that we have sustained during this offseason haven't been really too detrimental to the team, because
so far, thank God, yes.
11 of the 12 defensive starters are coming back, minus Aleem McNeil. But then we got Tyleik Williams, who's going to fill that spot until he comes back.
Right.
I mean, the guys that we got hurt, I mean, Malcolm Rodriguez is a come in speller type of guy. He's just
and a special team.
He's one of those special just a guys, but he's still just a guy. And Enos Rakestraw, I haven't seen anything to say he was going to make a tremendous impact on this team.
It sucks for his development. Yes, it sucks for his development. Yes.
As far as Maurice Norris, we won't know about him too much. As far as the offensive goes, I mean, Dominic Lovett, he's a rookie, so we don't know too much about him yet. Who else is hurt on our team?
I would say just to kind of be short, B, I would just say Levi is the biggest loss so far. because that was a rotation guy.
But is he though? But is he though?
He was.
I mean, he played to his capabilities, but he didn't play better than his capabilities were. He didn't play any better.
But I mean, his pass. But his pass rushing went.
I mean, name wise, yeah.
But his passing rate was really good for Levi. We're gonna miss that at least because outside of Wingo, maybe we don't really have a 3-tech. We have a lot of big dudes. Like Reeder's a big dude, Tyleek's a big dude, Mac's a big dude. We don't have like that twitchy 3-tech type of guy to really rush the quarterback. That was Levi. That's why I think that hopefully Wingo can step into that role because I think Wingo has the ability to be like Levi, but Levi was pretty good in some games. So
yeah,
that's our biggest loss so far.
So I'd say this to answer that question. I'd say when you have a turnaround with coaches, like you losing positional coaches, coordinators, and then some people retiring, like Frank Ragnow, and people injured, I do think that there's always a possibility that it can hurt their season. But I do think that also we have a strong, resilient team. We still got a bunch of all-pros and young players that made the top 100 that's under 25 years old. Yeah. I think that also helped the Lions as well to be able to help their coordinators and coaches out. Like I always say, a offensive and defensive coordinator's best friend are the players that they have, right? The young guys that they have that can actually play. You make their lives better when you got an Aiden Hutchinson out there, when you got a Aleem McNeil out there, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, etc. Now, do I think it'll hurt their chances? I don't think so because, like I said, the Lions still have a really good team, a very good team.
Yeah.
I
want to see more depth. That's my thing. See more depth.
They got plenty of depth.
They got plenty of depth, but I think that ultimately Dan Campbell, we trust Dan Campbell, right? Like everybody trusts Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes to put the right people in place. So I think Dan Campbell wouldn't have put Charlie Morton or Shep into place if he didn't believe in them that they could coach these kids out. I think that they're going to be strong. Now, obviously, there will be growing pains because we got some new talent coming in as well. But ultimately, I do think the Lions are still a bona fide contender.
Yeah, no doubt. The roster's top to bottom is one of the best rosters in the NFL. Everybody says that. I'm just saying that we got a lot of young players that I want to see develop these next couple of games because we're going to have to rely on them in some aspects. I guarantee you in the season if they make the 53-man roster. It's just the way the Lions work.
Your top three picks are playing pretty well. Ratledge,
which is good.
Ratledge played well in the last game. So did Tyleek. They both collapsed the pocket a couple of times. They came in there, stopped the run very well, and Tesla's been playing very good in both games. Those are your top three picks. That's all I expect. I expect my top three picks to do good. If they ain't doing good, then we have a problem. We got enough depth. We got so much depth that when people get injured, now they're calling up people. We got 5 UFL players on our team right now. Mm-hmm. Because
a lot of UFL players are getting drafted or picked up on the rosters, which is good
because
to see.
Of injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just another guy.
So what do y'all want to see from the joint practices with the Dolphins or in the game?
I want to see our offense do well. I want to see why the Lions were ranked number 1 when it came to offense last season. And reason I'm saying that is because that's kind of a general statement that I've heard the past couple of days saying that the offense have been struggling and they needed to find their footing, paraphrasing. But I want to see our offense actually play strong. I know the defense can play well, but I want to see the offense go out there and be that sort of similar to the same offense we had last season. I want them to go out there and play with fire. I want to see our young players play. I want to see Ratledge and see how he do at guard. So that's what I want to see.
What about you, B?
I mean, I just need to see everybody just play. Don't get injured. Be better than you have been. Just keep getting better. I mean, preseason, that's what training camp is for. That's what these joint practices are for. This is what preseason is for, just to get better. That's all I see. And the players that need to play, like the rookies and players that haven't been wasn't on this team last year, they need to get the reps so they understand what the culture is here. So, other than that, it's business as usual.
Yeah, for me, I want to see both lines dominate in the joints. I want to see the offensive line hold their own against their defensive line. I want to see our defensive line hold their own or get to the quarterback against their offensive line. And I want to see Kyle Allen in this next game just run away with his backup position. I don't want this to be a debate. I want him to just take it and run with it, and they move on from Hooker. So,
yeah, I would like to see him do good against starters instead of playing behind Hooker, because Hooker just screwed the whole of this situation up.
Well, I think according to Dan's presser, he's going to start this next game. I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
Well, yeah, I would start Kyle Allen too. So,
all right. So we're going to move on. In Lions news, Mr. DC got extended. So kudos to him. He got a little bag for him. How do y'all feel about Dan? Was it well deserved?
Of course. He's the heart and soul of this team.
Of course.
Okay. That's an obvious question. Now here's the other question I have for you. Does it buy him more time if we don't win a Super Bowl?
Absolutely. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me, but I don't think that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes will really have any pressure for a very long time, because they brought something to this city that we haven't seen in a very long time, and that's one, a divisional championship and a trip to the NFC championship. And so, if they did it once, I know Sheila Ford is like, hey, I trust them. They did it. The city loves them. So we'll just give them however much time they need. I believe that the city of Detroit, don't take this the wrong way, but I believe the city of Detroit is like, whenever you can be good and get you like on the cusp of a championship, it's like, okay, you pass. You pass the test. So with all the accomplishments that Dan Campbell has, I definitely don't think he has any pressure on it by him all the time.
As long as we're competitive, I don't see Dan and Brad going anywhere. It's when you start dropping and losing games and having those rough seasons, that's when the talk begins. But if the Lions are consistently around 10 or 11 wins a year, definitely. B, you want to add anything to that?
I mean, you got an extension, but I'm going to tell you something right now. We already see how owners are with their coaches. Dan has to get into a Super Bowl, I believe, in the next. He has to get to it this year, in my opinion. This is his 5th year. He needs to get to it, and considering the fact he's been close twice, last year, well, kind of, but the year before he was just a half away from going to the Super Bowl, and that was way preceding anything that I thought the Lions were going to do at that time.
Exactly.
I didn't see them going to the NFC Championship at all. I saw them winning maybe a playoff game, but that's about it. But they went all the way to the NFC Championship. So he did above and beyond what I thought they were going to do that year. And then, of course, last year they fell short. Not directly his fault. Goff needed to get his head out of his behind, and the defense was hurt. So, I mean, with both of those said, this is the 5th year. And usually coaches in their 5th year you went 3-13 and 1. Then you went 9-8. Then every year they've progressed as far as the record's concerned. Now I know they're not going to be 16-0 or 17-0 this season. I mean, to say that would be ludicrous. That'd be Dallas.
That'd be an amazing situation, but yeah,
it's not going to happen. They're going to regress record-wise because they have a better division that they're playing against. Everybody got better in division, not just the Lions. They got to play the AFC North and the NFC East. Those are 2 tough divisions, regardless of who you like in Dallas or whatever. But
the odds are stacked against them for them to do that. Let's just say that.
Yeah, right. and they start the first 2 games against division opponents. So you got to look at all that stuff. It's not going to be. I still think they can win a division. I really do. But it's not going to be easy like it was. I mean, it wasn't really easy last year, but it's not going to be a cake. I don't think they're going to be winning every. I don't think they're going to sweep everybody in the division. I just don't.
It'd be nice, but yeah, I agree with you. I think the quarterbacks have gotten better or should be better in this division. The rosters are better. So, yeah, I mean, I still think the Lions will win the division, but we'll see what happens. All right. Gibbs signed with Jordan. talk to me about Gibbs signing with Jordan. What does that mean? I don't think I've ever seen a player sign with Jordan. So Gibbs must be something special, which we all know that all that already about him. But just talk to me what that means for the Lions and also too about Gibbs.
I guess this is the first, NFL player to sign with Jordan. I guess it's kind of a breakthrough, right? I like it for Gibbs, because can't really explain it. I think it's a good thing for Gibbs, be sponsored by Jordan or signed with Jordan, I guess you could say. I really
have another sport that's taking knowledge of who you are. That's really what's impressive.
Yeah. It is. He's a star. I don't really think that anybody could deny that he's a star. Like you said, they just kind of noticing you a little bit more. I really don't feel any type of way about it, though.
Me neither. I'm happy for him that he signed with Jordan. You got to remember, the Michigan Wolverines also signed with Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
forgot about that. So it's not about sport recognizing sport. But
that's
that's fine too. It doesn't. Is it going to make the only way that's going to be bad for him is if it changes the way he plays, and I don't think that's going to happen. No. So I could care less who he signs with. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing, that's all that counts in this situation.
The way I look at it is game recognizes game. Simple as that. Gibbs is probably one of the most talked about, excited running backs coming into the season this year. Behind Saquon, behind Derrick Henry. And the fact is that the numbers this guy's put up in part-time roles is amazing. I'm not saying he's better than Saquon, but Saquon played a full season and was the bell cow for his team. Gibbs put up near numbers like Saquon and does it in a part-time role. Imagine what he did with a full-time role. That's all I'm going to say. So,
man, something? We know Saquon has that it factor, man.
He does.
Dude, he leaped over somebody going backwards.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the numbers are not as in.
Let me put it to you this way, Jay, because that's the misconception. Philadelphia has a good offensive line.
Absolutely.
The Giants did not. When I look at an NFL player that can do some harm in the league, and they're a good running back, is when they can do something without the offensive line. I'm not saying that's the same case for Jahmyr Gibbs. It's the same case for Derrick Henry right now. Derrick Henry's running behind a good offensive line.
And he's going great.
Gibbs is going nuts too with his offensive line, just like Saquon is. But when he played on the Giants, he was okay. But how often was his ass hurt? See, that's the difference. He wasn't hurt last season because you want to know why? He had a good offensive line.
Yeah,
he wasn't getting hit in the backfield 500 times like he was with the Giants. This is like Barry Sanders. This is the Barry Sanders comparison. Barry Sanders did a lot of stuff. Now we had a decent offensive line. I don't want people to say, "Oh, they had an offensive line that was good. They had two people that went to the Hall of Fame." That's cool, but that offensive line wasn't as good as Dallas's offensive line.
No, that's why that debate gets shut down right there.
Barry Sanders is fourth in rushing, and he lost 936 yards.
Yeah, I'll do a better one for you, B. They had freaking Troy Aikman back there. If the Lions had a capable quarterback, Barry Sanders would have had more yards. Period.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
all right. All right. Let's move on. We're gonna go ahead. Madden Kurt's gonna click. Well, that or the fact is that
Robbie don't like Philadelphia like you don't.
Yeah, well, that and the fact that running backs after they have huge years do have declines because that's a lot of wear and tear on their body that season. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about the AFC North. Robbie, perfect segue to your team. All right, y'all. So let's start with the defending division champs, the one Robbie likes to cheer for, the Ravens. So
don't tell us.
Start with you, Jay. Give me your thoughts on the Ravens. You kind of talked about Lamar Jackson earlier. What do you expect from the Ravens this year? Do you think they're going to win this division?
No, I don't think they'll win the division.
Okay. Tell me why, and then tell me what you think about the Ravens.
I think they'll finish second place. I think it's going to be a shootout between Cincinnati and the Ravens because last year Cincinnati kind of like lingered around. I know they got eliminated from playoff contention, but Joe Burrow was hurt. They had a lot of issues going on, but I believe that they can sign Trey Hendrickson. I think he's going to be back on the team. He's going to practice. He's going to go out with another big impact. They drafted a couple of defensive guys in Cincinnati, but I just don't know if Baltimore will be able to keep up the level of play that they have. I mean, Baltimore is good, but Derrick Henry, I mean, he stay hurt a lot too, and I know he's getting up there in age. So I just want to know how much tread does he have on the tire left. John Harbaugh, I didn't see really too much impressive coaching from him last season. They did good now, but I just don't think the Ravens are going to win the AFC North. I think that goes to the Bengals.
Okay. All right, B, what are your thoughts?
Oh, we're talking about Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're winning that division again.
Okay.
They're winning division again. They got the offense. They got better defense this year. Now we're just talking about the division. As far as them going past the playoffs, I can't give you anything on that one because
that's a question. That's a question I have for both of y'all. Is this the year Lamar Jackson gets the Super Bowl?
I get asked this question every year, and I still say no.
Nope. I'm still going to say no.
All right.
I think it's Buffalo's year this year, but that's me.
Somewhere monkey smiling on that. All right. Well, let's talk about the.
They also drafted a couple of defensive players too, and I mean, if they can bring back Trey Hendrickson, I think that'd be kind of big. And if you think about it, last year Daxton Hill got hurt, DJ Turner got hurt at cornerback. They both had some ACL injuries. If you can get them back and they can be healthy, I think that'd be pretty good. But
that defense sucked even with Hendrickson on there. Okay.
Yeah.
They've lost games.
They had some injuries too. Daxton Hill, DJ Turner.
They suck.
Let's talk about. Well, when you lose those players, you suck even worse. So that's all I'll say. Let's talk about the Steelers. They finished second in the division. B, tell me about the Steelers. What do you think?
I think they're going to be
old-ass Aaron Rodgers.
I think they're going to be good.
Okay.
I think they're going to be fine as long as we get Aaron Rodgers off the mushrooms and into the game. They'll be fine. I mean they're having their off-season drama. This is something that's not usual. That's not usual for a Steelers organization, like you were alluding to earlier. Mm-hmm. But they still got Aaron Rodgers. He's a capable quarterback. He's better than Russ Wilson. Okay, he's better than anybody they had on the team.
Can they protect him? That's my question.
They got offensive linemen coming back that were hurt last year that were playing productively in the beginning, so they should be able to protect him. They got two good tight ends. They got Freiermuth and what's his face? Yeah, and then they got Metcalf. They got Roman Wilson. He'll be back. They got Calvin Austin. They'll be fine. You know, if they're talking about this trade with what's his face from Washington, I mean, they're also talking about Tyreek. Tyreek can go there too because they're talking about Tyreek being traded too. Yeah. So, I mean, that would be overkill to me if they get anybody else on there. That would just be kind of like a luxury for them if they got another receiver on there. That's pretty good. Right. Their defense is always stellar. I think their defense kind of faded last year because they were just doing too damn much work because the offense was screwed up. So I would say that the Steelers will. I don't think they'll challenge Baltimore is a strong statement. I think they'll be good at. I think they'll win about 10, 11 wins. I think Baltimore will win about 13 games, but Pittsburgh will win about 10 or 11.
Okay. What'd you say, Jay?
Squealers. I think they win maybe 8 or 9 games. And no, I don't hate the Steelers by any means. I have nothing against the Steelers. It's just how long are they going to be able to keep up the not having a losing season? Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is over the hill now. Granted, he's Aaron Rodgers, and we expect him to do things still. But the guy's 40 years old. You know, he's going to be throwing. He got 2 good tight ends, but if you remember, over in New York, he had good weapons as well. They just didn't have an offensive line, and he popped his Achilles. He was never the same after that. Yeah. And how much mobility will he have on that bad Achilles? That's going to be a factor as well. You got DK Metcalf. What is DK Metcalf's and Aaron Rodgers' relationship going to be like? Because if he couldn't get it done with, his former teammate in Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson over in New York, I don't see it being really too much better with DK Metcalf, a guy who likes to complain about not getting targets. So I think it's going to be a lot of dysfunction in that locker room. Robbie, I don't hate the Steelers. I just think that there is. I think that it is going to
Squealers. That's what he's saying. He's like, he's calling them the Squealers. Well, it's because Aaron Rodgers is on the team. That's why we hate Aaron Rodgers.
I think they finished third place in the division.
Let's read this comment here. Thank you, Battle Red Love, Texan fan. As a Lions podcast in regular season, will you guys cover insights, analysis on the teams that you're playing against, or is it mainly focused on the Detroit? We'll cover the teams that we play against. We actually want to bring on somebody from the other team every time we have a show because we want that banter. We want that other side of the coin that we don't really know a lot about other than the diehards out there. So, yeah. Fortunately, we don't play the Texans in the regular season, but we do play on preseason. So
yeah, and we'll bring non-biased insight analysis, and
we do our best. I mean, we are wearing all blue because we are Lions fans through and through, but we also watch the game as a whole. I know I watch the game a lot, and I try to follow everybody's teams. Hell, I think I know more than some people know about their teams. But anyways, that's for another day. All right, so I got the Steelers finishing, Robbie, third in the division. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is 41, 42 years old. If you watch that clip of him just going through those little cone things, the guy was barely moving. Imagine what that's going to look like when he's got pass rushing up the ass on him. Like, this guy is going to fold like chairs. But if he's protected, he could throw one of the better balls. He's still got a good arm and all that. I still think he can make all the throws, but key word is protection. If they don't protect him, what's up?
My bad. I'm sorry, Nate. My bad. I would cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say, think about this. He's not in a division with, the Patriots and Dolphins and Buffalo anymore. He's in a division with like Myles Garrett, Henderson,
Baltimore,
Smart, Mike Green with Ojabo.
Trey Hendricks, if he's there, oh my god, yeah, it's gonna be.
That's every team besides the Bengals in the AFC North has a good defense. Really, he's going to have to play some really tough games, really more tougher than his whole career. And I mean, at 41 years old, I mean, how much do you have left in the tank? Really, just ask yourself that. How much do you have left in the tank? Like, Tom Brady was an anomaly playing in his 40s because Tom Brady stayed healthy throughout his career. Tom Brady had a great relationship with all of his players.
Well, Tom Brady knew when to go down.
Yeah,
let's just be honest. He knew when to go down. He didn't play another game.
With Aaron Rodgers, are you going to try to play Superman like you did before and try to pick up extra yardages, or are you going to try to take hits? It's going to be. I think there's going to be some surprises.
Yeah.
I think what you didn't realize though last year, okay, as much as we like to talk about Aaron Rodgers and his goofiness, he had a productive season last year. He was good. He wasn't good for Aaron Rodgers as an Aaron Rodgers person, but as far as a quarterback in the NFL, he was real good. So you can't. Those are things. That's all he has to do for Pittsburgh. That's all he has to do is be real good. He doesn't have to be Aaron Rodgers good. He can be regular Rodgers good and still propel that team.
And to piggyback on what you just said, like Aaron Rodgers played a lot from behind against the Jets with the Jets. So with this defense, the Pittsburgh, they should have leads because this defense is pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. So, you'll get to see more of Aaron Rodgers in competitive games. I think a lot of those numbers were inflated a little bit because he did play from behind a lot. So he had to bring back his team, kind of like what Stafford did with the Lions back in the day.
That's not inflated. I don't know how you guys call that inflated.
Because he was getting blown out.
You're trying to win the game. It wasn't because of him. It was because of the defense giving up points.
But I mean,
I'm not saying it was inflated. Not at all.
He was eighth in passing.
Yeah.
He was eighth in passing. He had, he had 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Yeah.
His rating was 90.5. I mean, he was a better than average quarterback.
You know why?
Year.
You know why I think that's going to be a little bit harder for him to do this season, though, B, is because he's on another team with another coordinator he's not familiar with more players he's not familiar with.
And Arthur Smith is not.
That's going to be a big problem. If he would have stayed with New York, then I can say, hey, you know what? They possibly could do something, bring in some more offensive linemen and see where we go from there. But now he's going from New York to Pittsburgh, and he's going to be with a whole different staff and players.
Hey, sometimes, Robbie, you got to hear stuff that you don't want to hear. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, we hear it all the time.
And the thing is that Aaron Rodgers, as much as we hate the Packers, he was like a really exciting player to watch. And you can't deny that he won, back-to-back MVPs. He had historical seasons. I'm not even like biased.
But the problem –
it's just that he's later in his career now. He's switching teams now, And
let me throw this in there, and we're going to go to the next team. With Aaron Rodgers, the greatest things about Aaron Rodgers was the ability to throw off platform and the ability to escape the pocket. Mm-hmm. We're not going to see that with the Steelers.
No.
He's going to have to throw from the pocket or he's going to get sacked.
Yes.
Or get rid of the ball. Either way. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on to the Bengals. Jay, talk to me about the Bengals. You said you and me both have the Bengals winning the division.
I think the Bengals win the division. Why? Because when I was watching the quarterback, I seen a little bit of fire in Joe Burrow's eyes. I see Joe Burrow's like the ultimate competitor. He's like that elite quarterback where you would say, he's top 3, and you can say that guy is able to carry a team. He got T. Higgins back. He got his boy Jamar Chase. He got a nice team over there. I believe that this Cincinnati team is going to be reloaded. They're getting some players back from injury. I'm guaranteeing you that Trey Hendrickson signs a deal with them. Maybe not a deal that we think is crazy, but you got Shamar Stewart. Mm-hmm. I think the Bengals will win this division. They probably win by the skin of their teeth. I think they win 12 games this season. I think that'll be enough to win. I don't think they'll win 13, 14 games, but I think they'll win maybe 12 games, and that'll be enough to win the division. So I think they win the division, 12-5.
Go ahead, B. Why won't the Bengals win the division?
Yeah, smoking too many of those Aaron Rodgers mushrooms, man. They ain't got defense, and they cannot start off seasons right. That's the reason why they were playing their starters in that first preseason game, because they have a fear that they're not going to start. They never do. They're not going to do it with Joe Burrow there either. That's just the way they're built. They're not going to win. They're going to be like 2-2, maybe 1-3 in their first 4 games. And they're going to do the same thing they do. They're going to be third place in that division. They're going to be 8-9 or 9-8. They just don't have they don't have good defense. I don't care if Hendrickson's on there. They were still whack last year. When you can't win a game, when you score 38 freaking points and you get beat by another team, that means your defense is not helping you out. The Lions know this because we got beat 45-31 in the divisional playoff. So what I'm saying? Fair. Defense wins championships. They ain't got no defense. Their offense ain't going to be able to keep up with that. This is not.
So I do think the Bengals are going to win the division, and I'll tell you why. Is first off, Joey Burrow is a better thrower than Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Some would argue even Joey Burrow is – if you take away the running aspect of Lamar Jackson, Joey Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson in a lot of people's eyes. He's very talented as a quarterback. Injuries have hindered him a lot. He's got arguably the best 2 receivers in the NFL, and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I don't think anybody can guard them one-on-one, not even the Ravens. Brown is a very underrated running back. I like him a lot. I think he's going to have a bigger role this year. Now, you mentioned the schedule B early on the season. If you look at their first couple of games, they should be 2-0. Now, whether that's going to happen, I don't know. But
last year they should have been 2-0 too, but they lost to the New England Patriots. So, but that's not nothing that they should be, and what they turn out to be are two different things.
Here's the thing. But my pushback would be is that's why you're seeing them play in preseason now, because they're trying to change that. No, that's fine. That's fine, but they're trying to change that narrative. So that's what I'm
like
saying.
Missouri. I'm a show me, damn it, show me.
I'm telling you right now, they're going to start 2-0, maybe even 3-0. So mark my words on that. On top of that,
Lions?
They don't play in the third game.
Bengals?
They play the Lions this year.
No, I said they're going to start 3-0.
But I'm saying, are they going to beat the Lions though?
No, they're going to beat the Lions.
Why aren't they going to beat the Lions?
I hope not.
Why aren't they going to beat the Lions?
Yeah.
Because our defense is going to play really well and get pressure.
So based on that and the fact that Cincinnati basically has no defense as of right now, as of the beginning of the season, if they sign Trey Hendrickson, because Shamar Stewart's not a good finisher. I mean, if they, I'm telling you, you're putting yourself in your own spot because they are not going to. It takes all 22 guys to win the games.
Yeah.
If the defense cannot play, you cannot keep scoring 40. You're never going to keep up a 40-point scoring drop. It ain't going to happen. It's
but the thing is,
they got defense in their division. Pittsburgh's got defense. And Baltimore's got defense.
So here's my argument on that. And I know that you're going to probably just push it away like you always do. But the reality is that they have a new defensive coordinator. So they don't have the old guy. That guy was terrible. They were last in the NFL in defense. They do have Shamar Stewart added along with Trey Hendricks. And also, too, when they went to the Super Bowl, they had a 15th ranked defense. So my thing is that I see the Bengals win this division because I think they're going to have a middle of the pack defense. And I think if they have a middle of the pack defense with that offense loaded.
Why? Because they got a different defensive coordinator? I mean, isn't this what they kill the Lions about? Oh, because you got different defensive coordinators.
No, because
coordinators are going to be lower.
No, because what did I say? You add another player on defense. You have players that came back.
The Super Bowl was 3 years ago, right?
I know, people. I'm just saying. Like again, I see if they can have a middle of the road defense, they can win this division. That's all I'm saying. Because the firepower on the offense, it's going to be very hard to stop that offense consistently. Just like we talked about the Lions. It's going to be very hard to stop the Lions.
It ain't going to be that hard if you got good defense. If you got good offense, with that good defense, they're going to beat them all the time. Like I said, there was 2 games last year that they scored over 38 points and still lost that game. You can't. If you scored 38 points, you're supposed to win.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Agree.
You're supposed to win.
I agree. You're not wrong. But I will say this: if you look at that, these first-year coordinators, look at what happened with the Chargers coordinator. The guy came from Michigan and literally had the number top 5 defense, and like outside of Khalil Mack and maybe Derwin James, how many stalwarts did they have on defense? Not really a lot.
Joey Bosa too.
Okay, well that's fine. But anyways, I'm just saying that they have pieces on the defense. If they can just be middle of the pack,
they have a couple pieces on that defense. Like I said, you get both your starting cornerbacks. You back, and I mean, obviously they're not like just standing out, but I don't think they'll be ranked 28th again, right? Like they can possibly jump up to maybe 19th. I mean, that's not like good, but that's kind of like average. And if you can have an average defense, I do believe that they can make some noise because what was their defense when they went to the Super Bowl? It wasn't really that well either.
It was 15th. It was
better than what it has been. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And I think that with them getting healthy again and with a couple more key additions with the new defensive coordinator, I do think that it played in their favor rather than hurt them like it did last season.
Okay.
Well, we'll use Nate's famous line. We'll see. Anyway, I know we can all agree on the last team.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that segue. All right. Talk about the Browns. All right. I'm gonna ask this about the Browns and make it short because I know Jay has to roll in a few. When does Shador start for this team, or does he?
When Flacco
I'm going to say probably after Thanksgiving. Why? Because Thanksgiving is kind of like that halfway mark, right? Almost like, and I think that they're going to give every opportunity to every single quarterback that they possibly have. I don't think they'll play Kenny Pickett or even Huntley. I think that most of the snaps are going to go to Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco. And if they fail, I think they're going to go out and get. Sorry, that was lightning. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
But I think they'll go out and get what's his name, Shador Sanders. I think they'll go give him a chance.
Okay, so you think by Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'll say by Thanksgiving. I think he'll start.
Okay, B, what do you say?
I'm gonna put it to you this way: if Cleveland is smart, okay, Huntley, you don't even count Huntley. Huntley's going to be gone.
Yeah, I agree.
Pickett is probably the other guy that's going to be gone unless they put him on the practice squad, which I don't think they'll do. They'll probably put Gabriel on a practice squad and just start off with Flacco and Shador. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to trade Gabriel because that's who they picked in the third round. You're not trading your third round pick. You look like an ass if you do something like that. That's just like
but they have 5 quarterbacks.
That's the same thing the Lions are going through.
You can't. Keep
they won't keep Pickett. They won't keep Pickett, and they won't keep Huntley.
Well, then they'll probably keep Gabriel and Sanders. Yeah,
they probably
keep him. And Gabriel go to the practice squad. This is how real life is supposed to go for Cleveland. Not that they're going to follow it, but Flacco will be the starting quarterback. Shador will be second, and then Gabriel will be on the practice squad or at third if it's an emergency situation. So probably somewhere, if Cleveland doesn't win games, even if Flacco is playing decent, if he's a reason why they're losing the games, then he'll be replaced immediately. But if they're losing games like by the 8th game, they'll probably put Shador in there to see what he can do.
Kind of like that halfway mark.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I say by the bye week. I think that's a good transition. If you're not in playoff contention by the bye week, definitely put in Shador.
Yes,
all right.
And then
Jay.
kind of go for it.
Hey, thank you for having me on, fellas.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to do the next show. Everybody, thank you for commenting.
Yeah.
Y'all have a great night.
You too, man.
You too, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, brother.
Yeah, Brent. You make up I mean, everybody said the same thing for sure. I agree. I need to see what this looks like. Obviously, if Trey doesn't get signed, that's a huge loss. Obviously, signing him needs to be a priority because you've got Shamar Stewart. You've got other pieces on there that you have to play better, and who knows what the defense coordinator is going to bring to the table. So just wrapping up the Browns, are we ever going to see the Browns even competitive in this division?
At one time, I thought there was going to be hope when the Lions started getting better. I thought the Browns would start getting better. And I would love to see a Browns Detroit Super Bowl, only because of the fact that we went on a championship in the 50s with the Cleveland Browns. We were going at it all the time with them. So that would have been good reminiscing, I guess, for 60 years. I didn't even see it, but that's okay. I can still reminisce. But it would be nice if they, would. Now they're officially the worst in the Lions to me.
Yeah, it's been
as a franchise. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about as a franchise. They're about as bad as the Lions, if not worse. So.
Yeah, I will say this. I was impressed. I mean, it's only one game. I definitely want to see more of him. But I was impressed how Shador played in that game. He had some rookie mistakes. Running backwards, definitely not a good idea. But he made some tight throws. He had good pocket presence. I like what I saw from the guy, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that if you can give him good, decent protection, he can make some good throws. He really can. He's got a good arm.
And the reason why I don't think and Cleveland don't believe in him because he's still fourth in the depth chart as of today. He's still fourth. Yeah. So I don't understand what the problem is here. Cleveland is just they're going to mess this up. They are. They're going to put the wrong person in the practice squad, and that person's probably going to be Shador, and Shador will go to another team, be successful. I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm not going to say he's going to be an elite quarterback. He's going to be a franchise guy, though, and he's going to take that team to a couple playoff games. Maybe you can get to a Super Bowl. You never know. And Cleveland will sit there sitting on their thumbs after they got a guy that they paid $230 million for that hasn't played very well at all and has been out most of the time. Is going to be out this year. Most of the year. It's Cleveland's just they need management change, they need an owner change, they need something going on over there.
Yeah. Well we talked about with Shador, if for whatever reason Shador does stay at the fourth quarterback, if I'm the Lions, man, I'd call him and say, what do you want from him? Absolutely. Like you want a 6th or 7th round pick or a 5th round pick, done deal. Let's do it because
it ain't gonna be nothing higher than a 5th round because that's you drafted him for.
Exactly.
So I'm not giving you nothing more than a 5th round.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, if they're willing to make a deal, let's make a deal because
I'll give you a 5th round and Hendon Hooker. How about that? That'll add to their quarterback problems.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm definitely if I'm the Lions, I'm making that trade ASAP because we need a quarterback to develop behind Goff. So
And again, let's just be clear too. It's preseason. It is his first game. Let him play some more games, which they are going to let him do because they don't want to put the other quarterbacks. Although Gabriel will be playing in the next game, so because he'll be, bet on the injury that he sustained earlier. He's gotten better, obviously. Hopefully, he doesn't sustain any more injuries. He'll be playing in that game too. So, as long as he keeps up with that, is consistent in preseason. I mean, the only thing you only can tell how good a player is going to be when you throw him in a line of fire, which is an actual NFL game. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. If he's still at quarterback 4 come the end of preseason and he's been whipping the ball, yeah, Cleveland doesn't want him.
If Gabriel plays well this next game, let's just play devil's advocate. If Gabriel plays really well in this next game, kind of like Shedeur did, what do you do with the reps?
Well, I'm going to tell you, based on how Cleveland is working, as far as they picked Gabriel at 3 for a reason, because the coach and the GM like that guy. Mm-hmm. If he plays that, they're going to overshadow anything that Shedeur does. That because he's the 3rd round pick. Period. Mm-hmm. That's just how they're going to act with that whole situation. Now, I mean, Gabriel's got to come out there and show. I mean, he's got to come out there and be blazing. Because that's the only way I can see them even having that consideration, unless Shedeur digresses in this game. But other than that, Gabriel's got to throw 3 touchdowns, have a quarterback rating of 100.
Yeah, the pressure's on him to produce well. If he doesn't produce well, then I could definitely see him going up the depth chart for sure.
Yeah, if he does well, I can guarantee you that Shedeur Sanders talk is going to be smushed for Cleveland.
Ooh, yeah.
And he will be traded or he will be put on the practice squad.
I definitely think the trade will open up after that if Gabriel does play well. Or maybe they'll do a rubber match and they'll see who plays well in that 3rd game. And then they'll decide, okay, we got to figure out something between these 2 guys. I don't know if we carry both rookies. So we'll see.
And the only reason why I'm not that confident about Cleveland's quarterback situation, because Stefanski's not even confident about the whole situation. Well, he's not answering a lot of questions. I saw a presser about right after the game. They were talking about Shedeur Sanders, and he was kind of getting off that subject. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to talk about. He wanted to talk about team. He was like, "Yeah, this and this and this team. They need to do better. And he needs to do better in some areas," which is fine, as coach speak. But the look in his face when they kept asking him Shedeur questions is like, "Can we stop talking about that dude? I don't care. I don't like the guy."
Well, the thing is too, you created your own mess. I mean, literally, you don't draft 2 quarterbacks in the same draft same draft.
That was a good old GM that did that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and you knew you were bringing in Flacco. So yeah, if you got Flacco and Shedeur, okay, that makes sense. They're buying, one's your starter, one's possibly your future starter. And if you want to bring in small hands Kenny Pickett, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But you don't draft 2 quarterbacks in the same draft class. It just doesn't make any sense. So,
right.
Anyways, they are the Browns. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Panthers that's the other thing too. They did start against the Panthers defense, but is that really indicative of how he can play? Because the Panthers defense is not that good. Sorry, Sonia. They're just not.
Right, but also too, I mean, as a backup quarterback or a rookie quarterback, you are going against backups because you're playing with backups, And the reality is, any quarterback going into a regular season against full starters is going to struggle because it's just the level of talent.
Well, no, I'm saying the Panthers did play their starters and defense.
Yeah.
They threw every freaking thing they could at him. And he did really well against them. But is that indicative of how bad the Panthers defense is, or is it just a mixture of him playing pretty well and the Panthers defense is not being good? See, that's what I'm talking about. When we see him play against some starters that have a reputable defense, then we'll find out what he's going to be made of, and hopefully he gets those chances. So, definitely. But anyway, let's get off the AFC North.
Yeah, well, good luck, Robbie, on your Steelers there, and we'll see what happens there. We'll have to clip this video and Somebody's gonna be eating crow, and somebody's gonna be like, you know what, you were right. All right, top 10 backs in the NFL. So we got the bell cows. So B, I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna tell me who your number one is, and we'll just go from there. So go number one. Who's your number one?
Well, my number one is Saquon right now.
Agree. Yeah, I mean, 2,000 yards. Enough said. You know, as long as he stays healthy. The problem with Saquon is, you know, as he gets older, how much are they really going to put on his plate? I mean, he literally was the offense last year. So, you know, we'll see. You know,
I mean, everybody predicates that on his health, but you got to remember something. He played quite a few, and he only sat out one game last year, and that was they wanted him to sit out that game. It wasn't really it was his choice, but it wasn't his choice. You know what I'm saying? Sirianni wanted him to sit him out that game so he'd be fresh for the playoffs, which, you know, besides the Super Bowl, which they hemmed him up in the Super Bowl, but and that's because they focused on. That's why Jalen Hurts had a great day, because they focused on Saquon. They didn't focus on anybody else. Yeah, I'm with you. But other than that, I think Saquon is. You know, you got 2,000 yards. That's a feat. I mean, how many running backs have gotten that lately?
Not very many.
He's the only one in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. He's gotten 2,000 yards. The only running back from that time.
I do want to see. I'll throw this caveat out there. I do want to see how long Landon Dickerson's out, because he ran a lot behind Landon Dickerson, and I don't know who their backup is. So, you know, that's going to be interesting to see. What the situation with that is.
Well, they should be fine. I'm not even worried about that. I think they're going to be fine. I just don't. I don't have a. I just don't see them. Yeah.
You know what's funny is, like, we're, you know, real quick, and we'll jump into the running backs again. Is their situation is similar to our situation? I mean, they have their center, but they have two guards they're replacing, literally, because Landon Dickerson's probably not going to start the season. And they lost Mekhi Becton last year, who was their starter last year, to where we also have possibly two rookies or one-year guy and second and rookie starting on guards. So thought that was interesting. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, running back number 2, who you got?
Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Derrick Henry.
He almost got 2,000 yards last season too.
Yeah, nobody really talked about Derrick Henry, even though because Saquon was so good, Derrick Henry was right behind him, literally foot to foot. How many more good years do you think he has left?
Probably, as long as he plays behind a decent to above average offensive line, because he's a big fella. Probably, I would say about 2 to 3 real good years. I think he can duplicate what he did last year, this year as well, because he's got a good team he's on. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Tennessee, it's just like Saquon. Saquon played for the Giants. He didn't play for Philadelphia earlier. He probably would have been a way better running back. We wouldn't be talking about him like being automatically the number one running back. But when you play for the Giants and you have no offensive line and you're getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage and getting hurt and stuff like that, that doesn't bode well for you. And Derrick Henry's just about in the same situation when he was with Tennessee. And he got hurt a couple of times with Tennessee and didn't play for like 4 or 5, 6 games, somewhere around there, you know, per season. So now he's with a team that has a better offensive line, has a better offense in general, and same thing with Saquon Barkley. So when you have two talented running backs that are out behind great lines, they're going to flourish. And I just don't see a change in either one of those this year.
And you talk about a running back that did more with less. I mean, look at when he was in Tennessee. He was their offense. Like, he literally had no O-line, maybe an okay O-line, no really weapons on the outside, and he was still killing defenses left and right. So, yeah, Derrick Henry still number 2. Number 3.
I'm giving that to our guy, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the guy can do everything. The fact that they're putting him out at wideout is scary. Really scary. And we're seeing that in training camp. Like, he's going against Alex and he's just smoking him. You know, and Alex is not a slow guy. Like, Alex can have some speed. You know, that was one of the things he had when he came out of college. He can run. But, man, Gibbs is just smoking everybody, man. Like, they're calling him Sub-Zero for a reason, because He's going to make a lot of people freeze. So, yeah, we're agreeing in there. Number 4.
Come on, what, Steve-O? I can't. If you're talking about CMC, I'm not putting him nowhere right now.
All right.
Sorry.
Number 4.
Number 4. Ooh, this is tough because
Are you thinking this off the top of your head? I'm in my list.
Yeah, because I'm not going by a list because I think that if I would go by a list, I would go like NFL or ESPN's top whatever they had.
Oh, I just made my own list, not anything. But I'll tell you mine. Mine's Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I didn't have Bijan Robinson there. He's further down. It's either Josh Jacobs for me or Kieran Williams.
Okay.
Me. I think I'm gonna put Josh Jacobs ahead of him because Josh Jacobs had a very good year considering what the Green Bay Packers did. Yeah. And then there we go. So
now you were talking about lists. A lot of the NFL lists out there, ESPN, whatever list, PFF. The next running back after Gibbs is Bijan Robinson in a lot of people's eyes. More so probably for the factor that he can catch the ball in the backfield consistently, and he's got that wiggle ability that Gibbs kind of has. I think Gibbs is more electric than Bijan is. Bijan's more kind of smooth and patient. But I think it's gonna be a big year for Bijan Robinson because I think a lot of the reason why is because they're not going to put a lot on Penix. If Kirk Cousins was back there, they probably let him sling it more, and you probably wouldn't have Bijan as much as a running back because they also have Algier too. But the fact is that Penix, we don't really know what Penix is. They're going to rely a lot on that running game with Bijan and Algier.
I mean, that's easy to say, but Penix is a running quarterback. You know that, right?
True. I don't think he's going to be running a lot.
He ran a lot last year too. So I mean, he's going to take some carries away from Bijan, and you got to remember they got 2 other capable running backs on that team that are just as good too. So,
but that's why I said the passing game is going to be a big factor for him. Like I think that he's going to be like big in the passing game along with Drake London. But okay, so I said Bijan. Who'd you say? You said
Josh Jacobs.
Okay,
Josh Jacobs, right. and then Kyren Williams will go behind him, and then I'll go with Bijan after him.
Okay, so number 5 for me is Kyren Williams, a very big back that has a lot of power, good speed, not elite speed, but yeah, he's just a very big guy to get down.
Yep, because CMC can't stay on the field. That's why.
Yeah, and also too, the passing game for Gibbs is tremendous. Probably Gibbs. Saquon doesn't catch the ball at the backfield very much. Gibbs is I would probably say, it's the best dual threat for sure.
Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah. Oh, he's just saying dual threat. Yeah,
dual threat.
That is a problem. He does fumble a lot, but he just got paid, so I think that he's going to be a big part. Also, too, I think with the Rams, with Stafford's kind of back injury issues, I think they're going to rely a lot on the run game too. So I think Kyren Williams can have a big game.
At least Kyren has played 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
CMC
All right.
is not.
Okay, so my next running back is Jacobs, and I got Jacobs below Kyren Williams because I think you're going to see Love air it out more this year. I don't know how. I mean, I know Matt LaFleur wants to run the football, but I don't think they're going to run the football as much as they did last year. I think they're going to kind of unleash Love a little bit more, especially with Matthew Golden. If their receivers are healthy and catch the ball, I think the passing game is going to be huge. Now, if they want to utilize Jacobs in the passing game, I think that could be effective, but that's not really his game. He had some ability to do that in some games, but he's a solid running back. He'll be about 1,000-yard back, about 10 touchdowns, I would imagine. He'll still be their bell cow. All right, number 7, who do you have?
Number 7, I have Bucky Irvin.
Okay. I have Cook. So tell me why Bucky Irvin.
Bucky Irvin is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is freaking everything for that Buccaneers offense. It's hard to bring that guy down. He is one of their offensive weapons for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're known for their receivers and what Baker Mayfield throwing them to, and even their tight end. But Bucky Irvin does not get the credit he deserves. He's a very underrated running back. So that's why I got him there.
Do you? Well, one thing about Bucky Irvin, I'll say this: he runs really hard in between the tackles.
Mhm.
You know, for a small guy, he's not a big dude. He's got a lot of wiggle and a lot of speed, and I do agree with you. I think he definitely is going to be a big part of what the Buccaneers do, and he can catch the ball in the backfield. I said Cook because I think Cook right now means more to Buffalo than Irving means to Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay is full of weapons, and really Buffalo's only big premier weapon is their running back Cook, because the guy has breakaway speed and great vision and great agility, especially in the passing game. And he did report back to practice, so he is there. I don't know if he's participating or not, but he's back at practice. They need to sign him, and they need to get him on the field ASAP, because he is a big part of what Josh Allen does. So that's why I say James Cook. So my next guy is McCaffrey. There you go, Steve-O, or whatever his name was, Steve-O or
Steve-O.
Steve-O. There you go. Yeah, I said McCaffrey because even though he has been injured, that's the big issue with him. When he's healthy, he's still a good back. He's still got some decent speed. He can still catch the ball in the backfield. He is a little bit older, you know, so I think that they're not going to feature him as much. But I don't know. I don't know what the Niners are doing, because they got rid of George Mason, who or the guy that they gave to the Vikings. That was a good running back, you know, and they literally gave him away for nothing. But they really like that guy out of I forgot his name. What's his name? Steve-O, tell me that guy's name that y'all kept.
Yeah, he's hurt too, actually.
Yeah. But they really
he's
like
got that
him.
long Guatemala or something like that. Something.
Yeah.
Guanera,
Yeah, they really like that guy, so I think that's why they traded George. But anyways,
I still think he's better than Mason, though. That was just weird.
Yeah, Mason's a good up and coming running back. God, I hate the Vikings got him. All right, give me your last two.
My last two is James Cook. Well, that was my eighth, James Cook. Okay. And then I will have to go with, surprisingly enough, Aaron Jones.
Okay.
And then last but not least, Chuba Hubbard.
Ooh, Chuba. Okay. Shout out to the Panthers.
Chuba Hubbard, yeah. He's a good running back. The team ain't crap, but he's a good running back.
Yeah. I would my last two are Bucky Irving, of course. I like Bucky Irving. I think he's an up and coming running back for sure. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Window.
He puts some O's on there, but yeah.
And then I have Najee Harris. I like Najee Harris, and every season in his career he's had over 1,000 yards. That's pretty awesome for a running back. I think the Steelers are dumb for getting rid of him. He would have been a good spell with him and Warren, but it is what it is. Jim Harbaugh is going to love Najee Harris along with Amari and Hampton. That's going to be a good 1-2 punch going forward. So that rounds up my top 10. And you said yours was Aaron Jones?
Yeah, Aaron Jones was 10. Chuba Herbert was 9.
Okay. What about Aaron Jones? Why do you think he's a top 10 back still?
The only problem I have with Aaron Jones is his ball control. He's a fumbler. But when he's not fumbling the ball, he's running hard. And he's a very, when we played him twice this year, he was very effective in both the games, kind of like Josh Jacobs was. And considering that we had a pretty good run defense, that's everything right there. And Aaron Jones is still a good running back. If he could hold on to the ball better, he would be higher in this list. But he can't hold on to the ball. We're crap.
Yeah, also too his health. He's been banged up a lot. You know, he's not a big running back, so but he plays hard, and so when he does get hit hard, you kind of worry if he's going to get back up because he is up there in age too.
Robbie does not like you at this point in his life.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just speaking facts, Robbie. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Najee Harris had over 1,000 yards every year. Like, you don't get rid of running backs like that for nothing.
No, Kamari, I would probably put if he had a more of an effective season last year, but he didn't. I
forgot about Kamara because they're so bad.
Yeah, I came close to putting him on the top 10, but I really had to go with what the impact was. And remember last year he was kind of hurt at the end of the season. And then Brees Hall, no, I'm not doing that. Nope.
On that note, Steve-O, on that note, let me ask you this question, B. Give me one running back that could jump into a top 10 debate.
Let's see. I think that, and we forgot about Jonathan Taylor too.
Oh crap! I did forget about Taylor. Damn, I'm terrible.
I think a person that could jump in there. I think
you might as well put Jonathan Taylor.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, yeah. I didn't forget about him. It's just that
they have no quarterback, they
have no offensive line now because Minnesota's got all of them. But
they're going to be crowding the backfield.
I would say Devon Chain, but
gig him.
I just don't have confidence in Miami right now. I don't know no way or no how. Maybe Rico Dowdle, but he plays on Carolina, and he's going to. I like
the A-Chain. I like the A-Chain one. We could even say Kenneth Walker too. Yeah, A-Chain's got some ability, man. He can definitely play.
And Tyrone Tracy could do it too. Tyrone Tracy's another guy that could do something. I mean, the Giants got to get their stuff together on offense, but other than that, I mean, he might be a good person to get up there.
Okay. I'm gonna say Braylon Allen, man, and he brought up Breece Hall. The reason why I did not say Breece Hall is because Braylon Allen at some point will spell or outplay Breece Hall. Dude, Braylon Allen was one of the youngest guys coming into the draft last year. The guy is huge. Like he is built for this league. Like he can run over almost anybody in this league. Watch out for this guy. This guy, if you're a fantasy, I would draft this guy higher than probably what he's going to be drafted. I think he's going to be a big factor for that offense. And we'll be talking about him. Next time
we said Taylor too, Steve.
Yeah,
Taylor, Connor was another one, but Connor's kind of running down. He's kind of getting washed.
And also too, like when you have a lot of these younger running backs, you favor them more because they have less tread on the tires. When you have older running backs, you worry about more of injuries, getting up there in age, how much production they're going to have. Because a lot of the older running backs have a younger running back that they're playing with,
Going to this, I mean, okay, he has his affinity for not liking Najee Harris, which is fine because he's seen Najee Harris play many times.
But still, I think the thing
this year, well, you got to remember something this year. Nobody knows he has this mysterious injury right now that nobody's speaking on, and they don't know if he's going to be starting or whatever. So I don't know if I'd have much faith in him right at the beginning of the year. Probably would be a good thing for him, to tell you the truth. Because if he gets gets going on a downhill, that would probably be better for Harris. I think O'Marion needs to start. I think he's the back that would probably do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm alluding to, Steve. Yeah. He starts off real fast in the beginning of the season and then calms the hell down.
Yeah, but the fact is too, he's also playing with a better quarterback too. So we'll see what happens. And Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football, so that's another thing too.
Well, if he plays the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I don't know what his status right now is. I guess that firework we'll find out.
Yeah.
But all right. Good stuff. Let's wrap up the show with You Mad? All right. So B, you're going to get a kick out of this. All right. Well, I don't watch a lot of WNBA. I'm sure you don't either. I'm sure you've been following what's been going on with throwing the whole dildos onto the court. Listen,
that's the amusing part of it. That's why I'm into it right now.
But here's the thing. Like when it first happened, sure, it was hilarious. Yes, I chuckled. But it's happened more and more and more as we see it. Hell, they've had to put up nets now on the court to prevent something like that. Like, listen, come on, man. Like, it's funny the first time. It's old. And it's disrespectful, because the reality is that this league is trying to make something of themselves, and they've had success. Like the ratings are up, people are going to games. You've got star players and all that. Like it's just disrespectful to the female standpoint because they're not taking the league serious. Like you're not seeing this shit in the NBA. You're not seeing this stuff in the NFL.
Oh, they throw dildos in the NFL too. In Buffalo. Ask Kevin next time you see him.
Okay, but that's more of the fans conjoining together. This is more of I feel like exactly, Robbie. That's my point. Is like, yeah, you say who cares about the WNBA? Listen, they're a professional team. Like that's really what I think is the biggest problem with this whole situation. Is the fact is that they are a professional team, and they want to disrespect that professional team. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see that in women's softball, you don't see that in women's basketball, but you see that in professional basketball, which is insulting because these are ladies that are trying to make a career of themselves, trying to get more money to feed themselves or whatever they want to do, and we're just disrespecting the game. That's all I'm saying. Like it was funny the first time. After that, it's like the shit's got to stop. Like you should not have to put up nets on the court to prevent this from happening.
Yeah, I think that it's dangerous to the players on top of it.
Sure.
In one of the games that they played, Sophia, what's her name? Sophia Cunningham was getting ready to. I think she was getting ready to shoot a free throw or something like that, and one of them landed in the lane. And what I thought was funny though, her teammate punted it back into the crowd. I'm like. Just have somebody remove it. Don't punt it back into the crowd. You might hit somebody.
Because I'll throw right back into the exactly.
And then the other things that were hilarious about it, somebody try to throw one and hit a spectator, a kid in the back of the head with it. I'm like, okay, and they're all lime green, by the way. All these dildos are lime green. So I mean, it's a copycat league. I mean, it's a copycat. People are going to do this because it's cute. It's a trend. But it's a dangerous trend at the end of the day. It's funny, like you said. In the beginning, it's hilarious. A couple of them, okay. And people have gotten arrested for doing that. Mm-hmm. So they are not allowed to attend any of those home games anymore. I think they didn't care anyway. They just did it to get some kind of exposure, whatever. Yeah. But when it comes to a point when you're doing it every once and twice games and it's becoming to
like they literally have to put nets out on the court.
Because you could harm people, harm the players. Not unless you're throwing them at the customers that are coming there in the first place, like the kid that got hit in the back of the head with one. But it's the point, dude. Yeah. There, you could cause some injury with that.
And it's just disrespectful, like what message are you trying to send? Because they're a professional women's basketball league, you feel like they deserve to have that kind of embarrassment. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, come on, man. Like, grow up. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think it's a maturity issue as far as the trend issue is concerned, because you see people do all these TikTok trends and stuff like that. And it's just a trend that's happened in WNBA, whether the people are of age or not. I don't know what the ages of these people are. They're different people every game. It's not the same person.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a trend. That's all they're doing. It's like a TikTok trend. That's what they're doing. Dildo nets. That's basketball, I guess. Yeah. Dildo nets. Yeah. That's a good one, Brent.
all I know is no matter what sport you play, you could play WNBA, you can play cricket, whatever it is, you should never disrespect the game. Period.
Steve-O, have some respect for the age, because somebody could take it out their mama's drawer, and go to a WNBA and throw it out there. You don't know where they're getting these dildos from, which, I mean, I think it is adults because they're buying the same color one. So it's gotta be a special purchase.
I mean, hell, there's even bets made on what color they are. Like, it's insane, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Is it so bad in the sports season that we have to entertain ourselves until football starts? It's so sad. But anyways, yeah, I just look at it this way, B, and I'll wrap it up like this. Like, just be respectful of the game. Go to the game, enjoy yourself, be a fan, but don't be an idiot. Just like I don't like people that get drunk and start yelling at the players and cursing at them or insulting them. Just be a fan and enjoy the game. That's all you got to do. Shut up and enjoy the game. You don't need to be a part of the game. You're not a player. Like, shut up. Just enjoy it, have fun, and move on. So.
You got these players that come in, these fans that come in just because they pay tickets, they think they can do everything. They've had this discussion many times on every sports channel, too. It's no, you can't. You're coming there to watch somebody play. You're not coming there to act a damn fool. Keep that stuff at home. Stop trying to harm. To a point, it's assault and battery. You can make a joke out of that too if you want, but at the same time, if you throw one of those on there and one of those women slip and bust their ass and is out for the rest of the season,
it's not gonna be as funny anymore, right?
No,
or he gets poked in the eye.
They're gonna be really doing like airport checks on these people's bags when they come in.
Well, they already banned bags from the show. I mean, for the game. So, anyways, so that wraps up the show pretty much. We want to thank y'all for all the subscribers and thank y'all for all the comments. And
that was from our soon to be hopefully sponsor.
Nice. Thank you very much for y'all's input today. Who else did we need to shout out, B, before we Robbie,
Steve-O, Brent, Robbie, and everybody else that viewed, because I know there was some more viewers on here, but they just didn't comment.
Yes, please like and subscribe to our show. Go to the YouTube, One Ass Cheek and Three Toes.
And definitely leave your dildos at home.
Yeah, thanks, Brent, for that. God. All right, I knew this was gonna gag chuckles too, so I was trying to be serious. But yeah, when you say I talk about it, it kind of does bring a little laugh. But anyways, so next show will be next Tuesday. I think we're probably still going to shoot for 7 o'clock or 8 p.m. Eastern time, unless otherwise, we'll let y'all know. Got some new things coming down the pipe. We're working on sponsorship, so we'll let you know more details of that. If you want to sponsor our show, please please email us. B will put in that comments at some point. Our email, please email us and we'll
be nice, Robbie. Be nice, buddy.
Whatever, Robbie. Don't be bitter. It's not my fault you have Aaron Rodgers, your quarterback. Anyways, so thank you.
Dildos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So thank you for tuning into the show. As always, fuck the Packers, fuck the Vikings, fuck the Bears. This is the One Ass Cheek, Three Toes show signing off. Until next Tuesday, y'all have yourself a blessed evening. Go Lions.